1, 2, 3.
There we go. I got it.
Nice. Welcome to the podpunkshow. So, sorry I made you wait 27 minutes for me to go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's like it's a weird situation because it's like, you're like, sorry, I gotta go to Taco Bell. And one second you're like, okay. And then you're like, actually, you know what? I can't blame the guy.
Well, I literally texted you 12 minutes before we were about to start and being like, I said, I'm going to be a smidge late.
Yeah, it's so Aaron though. Like, you're like, hey, I'm going out to the shed. I got to go polish my gun and close up the book that I've been working on. I'll be back in a minute. Just like,
right?
Hey, Aaron.
Well, because it's totally a situation too where like, it's totally being a shitty friend because I know, like, what's he going to say? No, I'm just not there. Like,
well, like, what's great is like, I think like, old me would get angry, not necessarily like at you, but just like old me would get angry at things like that. And now I'm just like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. So I think that's
why I had to go to Taco Bell. Like, I was in just a piss poor mood all day today. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit down and make John and our hundreds or thousands of listeners, deal with like pissy Aaron, like being a real grumpy Gus.
Oh yeah.
You know what cures every bad mood I've ever had?
Nobody likes when the big guy's in a bad mood.
Taco Bell.
What did you get
Taco
from
Bell,
Taco Bell, man? Taco Bell is like, oh, they just get it. It's so good.
It's so my comfort food. Like, you know how like people are like, my mom's like chicken casserole. Like, yeah, my mom didn't cook shit. So like Taco Bell, like in my 20s, is like, there's a Crunchwrap Supreme, a beefy 5-layer burrito, and a Baja Blast Freeze.
Oh.
And everything's going to be okay.
Is that always your go-to order? Do you have like a specific one?
Yeah, that's my standard, like those 3 items.
You remember when we were all uptown and the one Taco Bell was opening? That was such a big deal.
Dude, that Taco Bell made me believe in God because it was literally exactly between my apartment on 181st and my gym. Like, it was literally, it was in a place in between the two where, like, it would be really pain in the ass to, like, walk around it. So I had to walk past it. So God was like, oh, no, baby, you ain't supposed to be thin.
Oh, yeah, no, it was amazing. And, like, it was, like, right in between, like, your apartment and my apartment. So we had a mutual friend, and, like, I was always passing back and forth. And it just, like, it spread like wildfire. Everyone was like, did you see there's a Taco Bell? It's like, no way. When's it going to be open? That was such a big deal.
Have we ever told the story of how we met?
No, I don't necessarily think so. Let's go over that.
Yeah, so I moved to New York in 2015 with my wife, and we bounced around a little bit, and then we ended up renting a room in this like 4-bedroom apartment in the Heights.
Oh yeah, which is a very New York thing.
Yeah, like there was like me and my wife shared like the biggest room, and then our roommate Moses, who was a friend of yours that you worked with, and then I met you through him, and like he brought you over one day, and then I ended up talking to you for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we just clicked. He's like, hey, Moses is awesome, but like he's just like, hey, I think like you and Aaron might click, and I was like, oh, cool, like bring him by, and then next thing I know, it was like 2 hours later, and like usually like Moses is like he's very very social, so he's always like. He doesn't like overstay his welcome, but like he'll just stay and stay and stay because he likes hanging out with people. And even he was like, "Yo, like I gotta go, like let's come on."
Right? It was like when you see your like. Sorry, it's kind of like if you go to a party and like you see that your like buddies like hitting it off with some girl, you're just like, well, I better dip.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like we're over in the corner being like, yeah, My Chemical Romance and the fucking Fall Out Boy and Moses. We should all say Moses is a black dude from Baltimore, so like he could not give a fuck less about pop punk.
No, whatever we were talking about, like God, it was probably everything at once. It was just like blah 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 blah.
Well, that's the way, like, you and especially when we're not recording, the way you and I talk is, like, so disconjointed because, like, we both have ADHD. So we, like, jump from, like, we jump from, like, A to D all the time, but we know exactly how we got there.
Yeah, or, like, you'll bring up something and I'll just ignore it, and then I'll start another conversation, which you'll respond to, and then I'll come back to the original thing that you brought up. There's two conversations happening at once.
So it's like playing, like, 3 games of Go Fish.
Yeah. Exactly. Man, well, I'm happy you got Taco Bell, and I think that was good because it's been a rough couple weeks. Jimmy Eat World really put you in the gutter, and then last week we did like unplugged episodes, so like that was a downer, just in the sense of like it's acoustics. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear you. You got.
And there's also like the big peak of like Biden winning, where I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to like still hate the news all the time like, next year. But just like I don't like it was the thing today. Like when you're mad, but like you can say what like things that are making you mad, but that's not why you're mad. But you can't figure out why you're mad.
Yeah, that's like interesting. You say that. Like I've been like uneasy all week too. I'm not angry at anything, but like I just like have like anxiety like crazy this week. I was we were talking about it earlier, and it's just like it's been so crazy. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, like I've just been like on edge of like just like every little thing that just like annoyed the living shit out of me today.
Yeah, it's been.
And then I was like, man, I gotta, and like I even got I got a brand new phone today, like for the first time in like 4 years.
Oh yeah,
like even that for some reason like did nothing to like bring me up.
How do you like it?
It's weird so far. So I got the iPhone. So I came from an iPhone 7.
Okay.
And I've had an iPhone 7, not the same one, but I've had an iPhone 7 since it came out, so like 3 or 4 years. And I jumped to the 12 Pro Max.
Oh wow, that's a big jump right there.
It's a big thick boy too. Look at this. Yeah. Look at this chunky thing. It's an absolute unit of a phone.
What color did you get it?
Oh, I got the Pacific Blue.
Oh, I was so jealous. That's like that's the underground hit right there. That color.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a really really pretty color.
But I'm still like not used to it. Like I still have my iPhone 7, and like I went to go pick it up to go like toss it on my dresser, and like I told my wife, I'm like, I picked this up, and like that, like my iPhone 7 feels like my phone.
Yeah.
Then I picked this up, and it feels like it feels like something else because I'm so like I've had an iPhone 7 for so long. I'm still not used to Face ID, and I'm still not used to not having a home button.
Yeah, you like did it correctly. Like you're like responsible. Where you actually had the phone for like 4 years and used its full life. So.
Yeah, I made Apple replace it like 3 times, and 2 of those were totally my fault, but like they covered it anyway.
Yeah, no, they were good with that back in the day. They would replace those for no reason.
Dude, that's why like Apple stuff is more expensive, but like we're recording this on. I think we both have MacBooks from like 2014.
Yeah, and they can still compete.
Yeah, like it's don't get me wrong, this baby is hanging on by a thread, but only recently did it start to like feel that way.
I know.
And they replaced my iPhone, they replaced my AirPods like anytime there's something wrong with them. So like, yeah, like it's expensive, but like their service is awesome. If you live near an Apple store.
Yeah, no, they have really really good service there. They absolutely do. I think they're like specifically known for like how they hire. Like I know there was a book that came out a couple of years ago and it was really popular, but it was basically just going through like the whole how Mac like hires their retail workers, and they go for like a very specific personality type. Like that's all that they hire.
That wasn't me. I applied there when I first moved to the city.
Yeah, it's a good gig if you can get it, but
right, you get free shirts.
Yeah, a lot of free shirts, and then you get to hold other people's iPhones, which is good because like sometimes your iPhone gets a little annoying, so it's nice to look at other people's.
I feel like that's somehow a weird metaphor about like, love the one you're with, but you can look at the menu.
You don't have to take it home. You just have to fix
it. I'm cheating on you, iPhone 7. I'm just looking at this. I'm just looking at this right here. This iPhone 10 Plus. I'm just like, hey, girl.
You just have to show it how to clear the memory, and then it's all okay. It's like the MIB, Men in Black. When they flash the memory.
I love the idea of a guy talking to his phone though, like it's his wife. But like he's being like, hey, she don't care where I get my motor running as long as I always park in the same garage. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying there? The guy says like really creepy shit, but it's about his wife, so like it's okay.
Yeah, it's like you're allowed to say it, but it's making me really uncomfortable.
Like I know Jesus technically approves, but I know he wouldn't be watching.
I was looking at I'm just gonna bring it up now. I was looking at the Foo Fighters, and I was looking at their new promo photo, and they're like duplicating. They're like, it's like almost like watching like a cell where like it starts with 1 and then there's 2 and then there's 4. I think there's now like 8 of them.
Like, well, it's like it is that thing of like it's like it's a cell, like exactly like mitosis where like it splits.
Yeah,
the one's a little bit different, and then it's like a little bit different.
Yeah, I think it's awesome though. I hope Dave Grohl just keeps adding people. Like I hope it's like a marching band level. Like like when you see like somebody get inducted to the Hall of Fame, and like Bob Dylan will go up there with a bunch of country stars, and then like Blondie will come out, and like next thing you know, there's like 27 people on stage.
Right, and you're like,
Foo Fighters.
There's no way all of these guitars are in the mix right now. It's like we're definitely turning down Jeff Lynne from ELO.
Most of these people are just playing air guitar with a real guitar.
Hey man, like, you ever think about the job of like being like a backing musician for like a Miley Cyrus or a Katy Perry?
I think it'd be awesome if I knew how to play music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's got to be an awesome job. Like just like being like what is that? Like a session musician?
Yeah, being like a hired gun. Like that'd be like, it's also because like, it pays well. Also like you can go to Chick-fil-A before the show and nobody knows who the fuck you are. So you don't have to deal with that shit. But you also get to be on a giant stage every night with like a cool stage show.
It's like the best of all worlds. The only problem I have with that, and let me tell you right now, this is my issue, is you're right. You're going to go out. People are not going to know who you are. But the ones that do are going to be such diehard fans that they're the ones that probably will kill you. So the only ones that can pick you out of the crowd is the absolute predator. So I'd be a little worried in that sense.
That's true. If someone's like, oh yeah, was talking incessantly about like the guitar player for like Miley Cyrus, I'd be like, oh, so you're gonna like eat him, huh?
I think I would literally be like Tony Soprano, where like every time in Burger King, like if I'm looking around and somebody like is acting like maybe they're making too much eye contact, I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like, can I get an autograph and a blood sample?
Yeah. Oh my God, are you the third guitarist on Miley Cyrus's 2006 Wrecking Ball tour, Alabama, Bingham?
Yeah. Would you fit in this box? Lay down. Let's find out.
You still have Miley's number?
Right. Well, that's the other thing. Anybody who comes up to you is either going to kill you or is totally using you.
Yo, 100%. Because like you're not cool enough for anyone to just be friends with you from your personality. So
right?
Yeah. they're
so
totally.
that feeling of that guitar player is how every bass player in every actual band feels.
That's so true. And any bassist out there knows it. That one stings, but it's true.
Oh, absolutely. I don't care. Oh man, you know how great it is to not have to play guitar?
Oh yeah.
It's wonderful.
No, I mean, I can't imagine. I always would get jealous of the bassist because like you can do nothing. You guys like just want to overachieve so much. Literally, it's like the one that like, it's like, hey, we need a 1-page essay. And then you guys are like, oh my God, I have 4 pages front and back.
Yeah. No, there's exactly. There's 2 types of bass players in bands. There's the one who's just happy to be there.
Yeah. Like literally, it's like a Make-A-Wish, and he's in your band.
Like the kid who like didn't play in a band or like played a little guitar, and like their friends like be like, oh, you play bass, and they like show him the parts of the songs. Like that kid.
Yeah, he's like a political pawn. Like you need like votes at the van meeting,
right?
So like
it's like pure nepotism.
Yeah,
like,
you're always vote what I vote. Okay.
Yeah, like he was basically the one kid in 8th grade who had an N64, so now he's still in your band 20 years later. Or there's the type of bass player who's like a frustrated lead guitarist.
Yeah.
Who's that guy who like, asks for a 1-page paper and comes in with a binder marked 1 of 3 and puts it on your desk.
Oh yeah. Like they're the ones too, like when you go in and you record your first local EP with the local producer, they're never happy with their bass tone. Never happy. Nope. Never happy.
My note was, can we put more bass in the mix?
Can we put more bass in the mix? Is that for your live mix or for the actual recording there?
Always.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I was very much the overachieving, like frustrated bass player. Cause I'm like, we could put a cool bass line here. And they're like, or you could play the root. I'm like, or you could eat a dick.
Yeah. Yeah. We, my band's first bassist was one of like the overachieving. Like he wanted to be like the lead singer and the bassist, and then we were like, well, you can't sing, but you can play bass like really well. So we had to bring in a singer, but then he was like always resentful because he was going to be the lead singer, and we like replaced him. And then we'd always be like, hey, can you like not like play a solo like every time, like ever,
right?
Like really.
You know what doesn't need a walking bass line? This fucking pop punk ballad.
Dude, it was like, yeah, it was so annoying. Like we like literally like, even if like you just want to have like a breakdown, you're like trying to be dramatic, you're like boom, he would not. He's like boom, boom, boom.
Right. It took me well into my 20s to learn like how to not serve my ego and actually serve the song itself, because like a bass player more than anybody has to like not be selfish and has to play what's right for the song. And if you do it, like sometimes a moving bass part is good, like if the guitar is very static.
Oh yeah.
Or once you get to like the back half of the second verse, you need to throw maybe a little bass fill to like add some excitement going into the bridge and chorus.
Yeah. And that's what it is though. It's like you gotta like, I think what it is once you fully master the instrument, then you're more comfortable not doing much with it. It's like when like a chef really knows how to make the dish, like they can make it with just like 3 ingredients and it's amazing.
Well, it's actually I've been really into music theory, and I've been learning like classical theory and jazz harmony and like this like really deep stuff. And I kind of had a breakthrough a couple weeks ago where I realized once you know how everything in music works, like I know chords, I know inversions, I know chord progressions, I understand leading tone, I understand each of these parts, its function and how it relates. Like I see the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
You realize most songs are built on the same things, and it all comes down to taste. Like it's not like, oh, we should play an A minor and then a C. It's like, but what A minor? Because you can play A minor 17 different ways on a guitar fretboard, but which one's the right one for what you want to achieve? And I think as a bass player, it comes down to that too, where you got to be like, okay, I could play like fucking Matt Freeman bass solo here,
right?
Or I could play real simple, but like, what's the right tasteful thing to do right now?
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good point. Like what garnish like just adds a little pizzazz to the dish instead of like overwhelms it.
Right? You know, because cooking's a great analogy too. Like, you know, you first discover fucking truffle oil, you're going to put it on your mac and cheese and your eggs.
Oh yeah.
But it takes a good chef to know like when and how much and the application of these flavors.
Yeah, I was doing like shots of truffle oil when it first came to my world.
Oh, dude, you were the most Manhattan like basic bitch ever though. Like I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I had 3 different types of truffle oil.
What was that place down in like fucking Soho? We didn't go to it. We were going to a burger bar, but there was like some place that just opened that had like a line that was like 3 blocks long. It was for like cookie dough or some shit.
Oh yeah, it was called Dough. Yeah, they had a bouncer there for a while, Aaron. They had a bouncer, so like the line was so long and so aggressive. They had to cross them across the street, and they had like security across the street, like holding the line off.
There's like fucking crossing guards.
Yeah, this city is so silly.
For fucking cookie dough. And like
edible cookie dough. Like I don't even live like that, bro. Like I honestly, the only cookie dough I eat, it has to have egg in it. If you can't risk the thought of salmonella, I don't even want to taste it.
It's like eating cookie dough with a condom on. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're getting diabetes anyway. The other one doesn't have fake sugar. You might as well risk it.
No, you just want to edge a little. You just want to just like, you know, not hold on to the handrail.
And let's be honest. How many times have you eaten raw cookie dough?
This week?
Yeah, exactly. How many times you had salmonella?
None that I know of, but I haven't been to a doctor. I don't even know. What are the symptoms of salmonella?
I don't think you turn into a turtle.
Oh, fuck. Then I could run for Congress.
Yeah, I think you could. I think you could get salmonella, you turn into a turtle, and you could run for Congress. That's actually not a bad idea.
I don't know what E. coli is. I just know it's bad.
I know E. coli and Chipotle. You get that with Chipotle. So whenever you get Chipotle, you get E. coli.
Right? Basically, I know as much about salmonella and E. coli as like a late night talk show host who read a monologue. Like I can textually understand what the joke is, but like if you ask me like what's E. coli do to your body, I'm like I don't know. I think like shits.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you put E. coli into your iPhone, Siri tries to change it to Chipotle. So I'm pretty sure with that one.
Did you mean Chipotle? By the way, have I ever told you this? Did you ever change your Siri assistant to a British woman?
No, but it's a British man.
Oh, see, mine's a British woman because like I just feel women are more competent. But
okay, mine is a British man because I feel like Iron Man. It's like my Jarvis.
I'm also less mad at her because I like anytime she doesn't know something or get something wrong, I just figure it's like a translation thing of like, oh, you probably call them like lorries or a lift or a torch, you know.
That's awesome. I never looked at it like that. Next time my British guy doesn't understand me, I'm just gonna be like, oh man, it must be like a pond thing.
I do wish you could change the name though, like the trigger word. So
yeah,
hey Siri.
Wouldn't that be so cool if you could change it to anything else?
Oh shit! No, never mind, Siri, go away. Yeah, because I would want to change it to like Franklin or something. Like if it was a dude, be like Franklin,
or hello Alexa.
Do you have one of those? I never got one.
No, I don't. But I'm just setting somebody's off right now, so hopefully.
Download podpunkshow. That actually works. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah,
we're on Amazon Music.
It's like crazy now with all like the smart technologies and everything. Like you just walk into an office and start talking, and things start happening.
Right. Well, even
like if you had told 10-year-old me that, my head would have exploded.
Dude, Face ID freaked me the fuck out. Like it creeps me out that my phone like just unlocks because it knows I looked at it.
Yeah. Face ID is a weird one
because I know the technology is like 3 years old now, but like it's new to me because I've been on. I was not giving up that home button unless you took it from me.
Oh yeah, that's right, man. You're like we're in 1960s up until today. That's that's crazy. So are you still doing like the phantom actions where like you're looking for the home button and stuff?
Yeah, it's like not there. It's like I lost a finger. Like I can still feel it.
What do you think of the camera on that thing?
Oh, dude, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how different it is?
Yeah, like you can literally see the individual like strands of like Skittle like coloring on my daughter's cheek when I take a picture because like she's always covered in something sticky because she's 2. Like there's a period of your life from ages like a year and a half until like 5 where like kids are just like they're either just got out of the bathtub or they're sticky. Like they're like you don't know what and you don't want to know.
Yeah, no, you don't. The less you know, the better.
Yeah.
But
Do you know how
they're
many times I've been like, why is this wet? And then I'm like, nobody tell me. I don't like your house becomes like the subway system in New York where you see a puddle and you don't want to know what it is.
Yeah. You just stare straight and keep walking.
Did you ever watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No, I haven't, but I have like a gist of like kind of what the show is and whatnot.
Oh, got it. Because it's Andy Samberg and it's great.
Yeah.
It's a fictional police department in Brooklyn. And they're at a crime scene and there's like blood and someone's like, what's that blood? He's like, I don't know. It could just be city blood. Because like in New York, you'll just see something. You're like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no, he's got an absolute point.
Like there's not enough time in the day to track down all these stories of what happened on this platform.
No, that's funny.
Oh, dude, I remember I got so mad because they actually came and they like power washed to the 42nd Street A-train station.
Yeah.
Like this is like a month or 2 before shutdown because I haven't been on a subway since March, which feels ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
But they power washed it and I was so fucking mad because I knew exactly based on like the pattern of gum of where my door opened.
You were actually using like the actual like trash that's been embedded into the sidewalk to figure out.
Like I know that this weird like oval piece of gum next to this one kind of shaped like Lincoln is where the door opens. If I get in this train car, it's always not as full because it's farther away from like where the steps come down to the platform. And it also gets off right by the door at my exit. So like I know to stand there and then they power washed it and I was so fucking mad.
That's like when you hear the stories of like the dad shaves his beard and the baby sees him for the first time and she's like, ah!
Yeah. It was like someone threw away my bookmark.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck page am I on?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the subways have gotten like so wild now. It's just anything goes.
Wait, it wasn't before?
Well, like it's just like now, like people like know, like before, like if you went for it, like you kind of knew like you were doing something weird, like maybe somebody would stop you. Like now it's just like, yeah, nobody's doing nothing.
Right. I remember when we first moved to the city, my wife told me that in like that really creepy ass long tunnel on that 14th Street between like the 1 and the L.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, it feels like it's a mile long underground.
Yeah. It connects 2 avenues. You literally walk like 2 avenues underground. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like this long, endless corridor of like white tile walls that are filthy as fuck and like glitchy fluorescent lights. My wife, once when we first moved to the city, she came home from wherever she was working at that time. This one we still live in Brooklyn before we moved to Manhattan, like the first like 2 weeks in the city. And she's like, I saw some dude masturbating in that tunnel. I'm like, was he homeless? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, technically you were at his house.
What's that like Tony Robbins quote too? It's if somebody catches you masturbating, you're embarrassed, but if you keep staring at them and they don't go away, then they're embarrassed. So just take control of the perspective.
Is it really Tony Robbins?
Yeah, I'm positive. Yeah. He's like, if anybody ever walks in on you and you're masturbating, just keep staring at them and don't stop because then it's fucking weird if they don't leave.
I understand the idea of like, standing your ground and like or like owning a situation, but man, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, you gotta know you're
yeah. Right? Yeah, if I was fucking 9 foot tall and like a millionaire like Tony Robbins too, I could also be like, yeah, fucking watch, I don't care.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, brother?
But I'm from Iowa, dude. Like I say sorry when I meet people.
Yeah, that's right. You're basically Canadian.
Yeah. I'm Canadian, except like I don't know enough about hockey.
Yeah, except you don't get the health care.
Like, do you know about OPE?
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
You don't know about OPE?
No, what is it?
Oh, it's this thing that like I've done my entire life and everyone I've ever known has done it. And I've never thought about it until like there was like some paper that came out, like some linguist a couple years ago. So OPE is a catch-all polite term that like is used other places, but it's like huge in the Midwest. So like if you're walking in a grocery store and you come around a corner and you almost bump into someone, you go, "Oh,
okay."
Or yeah, it's like you. I say it constantly.
It's
like
just like it's like a gut reaction.
Yeah, like it's always like a slight jump out of the way, like sorry.
Okay.
But like I never realized it was a thing until someone like sent me this New Yorker article or whoever wrote it once I moved to the city, because someone's like, "This is you." I'm like, "This is everyone." They're like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, so you just like run into people?"
So is it specifically like a like an Idaho thing, or is it like a specific personality?
Iowa.
Iowa. Okay. What's the difference, dude?
Like 2,000 miles.
Oh yeah. I mean, when we're gonna talk miles, sure.
No, it's fine. Like I've literally been on planes coming or like landing in Iowa where like the stewardess says now landing in Cedar Rapids, Ohio.
Yeah, that's right. Iowa is what? Corn. Idaho is potatoes.
Yeah. Ohio is racism.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's right. In baseball. Don't forget about that.
Ope. Like it's not just when you like about to run into like anything's about something. Like you see someone about to like drop something, you're like, oh. Like it's like an involuntary like polite reaction.
Yeah, no, I mean that's like Midwest like has like a lot of those like isms. You know what I mean? Like I've heard people like talk and like they'll kind of be like, "Oh, don't you know about A?" Like they almost have like the A like a Canadian like Canada like on the end of it too. I've heard sometimes.
Oh yeah, do you tell distance and time? Because in the Midwest, like you wouldn't say something's 10 miles away. You'd say, "Oh, it's about 10 minutes away."
Oh wow. Yeah,
because
I guess
the idea of traffic isn't a thing.
Yeah, I do it in miles.
Yeah, in the Midwest, like you're like, oh, how far you live? Like, blah, blah. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go back to my parents' place for Thanksgiving. Oh, how far away is that? It's about 2 hours. It's never a distance because, like I said, like because it's always the same because there's nothing in the way. We're here, like I've lived both 15 minutes and 3 hours from work when I lived in Manhattan.
Oh yeah, consistently. And it could go either way anyway.
Yeah, all it took is like one person on a fucking like E-train, like, you know, causing a problem.
Yeah, or one plastic bag catching fire on the train track and it's over.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a train car when there like something catches fire?
Oh yeah. I've been on train cars for a while. Like I've been stuck on them for like hours before.
Oh, I haven't had that. I've been on one though where like wow, we're stopped the train track ahead of like whatever bullshit they say.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, the train car starts, like, filling with smoke.
Oh, that's never fun.
I do love it, though, because it's always the white people who get freaked out first.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's always some little fucking, like white girl named Tiffany or, like, some dude in a business suit being like, like, the black dudes are like, it's fine. Because they've been taking the subway since they were, like, 4.
Yeah, it's not the first time they've seen it. You know, I've had one time... because the train was stalled at the station and ours couldn't get up there. So they actually had to like slowly bring it up and bump the other one. Then we had to walk through ours and jump into the other one and then walk through that one out. And I just remember like all the cops and firefighters just being there and they're like, "Oh, sorry. And we're just like, thank you for your service."
You just oped right there. You just, sorry.
Yeah, right. Oh, sorry. Oh, our bad.
I remember when that train derailed, like there was a train that derailed once and like everyone's like, "Oh man, the subways are getting so bad." I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's always scary. I'm always worried about, there's like all scaffolding. Cause like there's a law in the city when they do construction on commercial, they have to put up like scaffolding over the sidewalk. But like, since like all construction's been kind of halted because of, you know, quarantine and coronavirus, I don't know if the scaffolding's getting like inspected. So like those fall like all the time when they are being inspected. So like I'm always afraid now. I'm like, oh my God, is this gonna be the day like this like 6-month-old Connects project, that's what it looks like, Connects.
Yeah.
Just wiggling in the wind. Is this the day it falls? It's like so scary. Right.
Dude, have you ever had it where like part of your like route to work, they took down scaffolding and you had to buy an umbrella?
Oh yeah.
Because I used to have it planned out where I could get all the way from home to work if I went a certain like, you know, took a right here, took a left there.
Yeah.
Between like awnings and scaffolding, I didn't need an umbrella for like 3 months.
Yeah, you basically play like a game of Frogger and you're just running across streets and cutting up different streets and yeah, you can be covered the entire time.
Right. Oh, dude. And also, like, as soon as like they take down that scaffolding, especially because like there's places in the city that I've never seen. There's buildings that I walk past every day for years, and I've never seen the front of them because they've had scaffolding up the entire time.
Oh yeah, how would you know? Like, yeah, it's like a whole new city. It's literally like a facelift when it comes off.
Right. It's like you're wearing one of those like fucking like day spa masks.
Yeah, I was thinking the scene in Batman with the Joker.
Right. But have you ever been like to a place where like they took down the scaffolding that's been up for like 6 months and you're like, oh my God, this sidewalk is so fucking gross?
Yeah, it changes everything. But like the whole thing now too is just because of different situations. The scaffoldings is now like it's kind of becoming more like hangout areas. So it's like,
oh really?
Yeah, because it's like it's already like kind of like a shelter. So
because I do hate those fucking outdoor dining things everywhere. They suck.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be like a new thing that stays. I think they want to keep it.
Of course. I mean, de Blasio already put a bike lane on every fucking road in the city, so you can't drive anywhere.
Also, you can't stick your fucking feet out. You try to jaywalk anymore, you can be hit by like a 30-mile-per-hour electronic bike that makes no noise. It's like a drone missile.
Dude, but like since I only drive in the city now, anytime I go to the city, since like I don't live in the city, if I'm going there, I've driven into the city, and like all the parking's taken up with like fucking outdoor seating. And it always makes me mad when it's a restaurant that sucks and nobody eats at, so it's always empty.
Yeah, they're just taking up the space.
Yeah, you're like, okay, cool, like Golden Girls themed cafe no one wants to go to. Thanks for taking up thanks for taking up 4 fucking parking spots, you dick. That's a real place in the Heights. There's like a Golden Girls themed bakery that I've never seen anybody in.
Yeah, Roularou. It's closed. It's closed now, though. It was a sad day for everybody.
I used to walk past it because it was literally like 3 blocks from where I lived. I've never seen anyone in it.
Oh, yeah, there was never anybody. Like, it was basically just like a fanfare Golden Girls cafe, and like they had like cheesecake and coffee in there. But I think it was one of the Golden Girls' like nephews owned it or something. I don't know. It was just, I remember like it closed and there was like an article in the Gothamist and I was like, oh wow.
It's one of those places where I'm like, is this a front? Like this has to be a front.
Right.
I used to think that when I lived on 181st too, because there was like 6 cell phone stores on that block that I've never seen anybody in.
Yeah.
And they weren't like a Verizon. They were just like a cell phone store.
Yeah, there's a couple of I think there's a couple of fronts on the Upper East Side. There's a couple of hardware stores that are really close to each other.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're just money laundering operations.
And like I went into one of those cell phone stores once to actually buy a charger, and they're like, the dude working there like didn't know how to process like a credit card payment.
What?
It was like if you went to like a fucking fake front business and someone actually went in to like buy something, and you're like, this has never happened. I was just told to sit here and like, not talk to cops.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'm this is my job. I'm just supposed to sit here, lock up.
Yeah, make sure nobody finds the heroin tunnel.
Exactly. There's a red button under the desk. I'm supposed to push it. I'm pushing it right now.
The doors aren't closing. Nothing's happening. Also, you can tell they're totally like bullshit business too, because they still sell like fucking Nokias.
Yeah, no, it's like nothing is like up to date too. All the advertisements in there are like from like 1999.
There was this place in Brooklyn because we lived in Brooklyn for like the first like month and a half we were here. We like bounced around from like, renting a room and shit. There was like this old store that like one of those stores that like some dude owns it and it's just random shit.
Right. I love those.
Yeah. It has a sign, but like it's so faded it doesn't say anything. It just says like 99 cents. And you have like no idea what it is. But like I went into one and I was fascinated because like there was a whole rack of like leather cell phone cases for old Nokia phones. Like I'm talking like Snake Nokia.
Yeah, like specific Nokias.
And I went to take a picture of it because I thought it was fascinating. And this old dude comes on and just starts fucking yelling. He's like, "No, take picture. You buy or you leave."
That's like, I wonder what that's about. Like, that's just a guy that's just like frustrated at that point.
Well, I'm like, are you mad that I'm like trying to like look this up on Amazon to buy it there?
Oh yeah, I never even thought about it like that. That's probably what he was mad about. Is you're probably just like taking a photo of it so you can go home and buy it for cheaper.
Amazon's not putting him out of business. He's going out of business because he's selling literal trash, like things that should just be thrown away.
Although I have to say, one day Amazon really freaked me out, and I went out and I was looking for a dog leash. And I went down to like the Upper West Side and I went into a dog pet store there and they had like one of those retractable ones and they wanted like $88 for it. They were all like, $75 and above. I was like, that's insane. So I opened Amazon. I'm in the pet store. I just put in retractable dog leash and it comes up with like 5,000 5-star votes at $19.99. And so I'm like, okay. And I hit it and it's like, this qualifies for immediate shipping. And I'm like, okay. And by the time I got back to my house, the dog leash was at my apartment door. I was like, oh my God.
I went to Target today and there was like a super long, I had to get diapers. I literally went there just to get diapers.
Oh, that's fun.
There was a super fucking long line. And I was in a bad mood all day. So in my head, I was just like, I can't wait till Amazon kills this fucking place.
Yeah, I love doing that.
Like I root for whoever will kill whatever business I'm mad at. Like
Yeah.
if I'm at like a restaurant and like they fuck everything up or they take it forever, like I'm always nice to the people because it's not the people's fault. But in my head, I'm like, I hope McDonald's fucking opens up right next door. You fucking.
Oh, I agree with you. Now that I'm thinking about it, have you ever had like a mess up from Amazon?
No.
Either have I. I was like kind of thinking about that. And I was like, they've never like scratch out like maybe somebody stealing a package, which has never happened to me, and that's not
or like
their
the post
fault.
office fucking up.
Yeah, that's not their fault. They've never not like misdelivered or like it's
Never
spotless.
been the wrong color. Never. Yeah. Like it's insane.
One time I got the wrong item. Now that I'm thinking about it, I had ordered like a supplement and I ordered like another supplement of the same type. And it looked like almost the same thing. And I guess I got two of the same supplements. But like, that's the only time.
You know, part of the way that they avoid mispicks for packages there is that their warehouse is completely random. So like, you know how they have like dog leashes? They have like red ones, blue ones, green ones. Like they don't have those all next to each other. They literally have them randomly throughout the warehouse. So like you can't accidentally grab the wrong one because it's right next to something exactly like it.
Just this, you can't fall into a pattern. That's super smart.
Yeah. Although like they're a terrible company that like basically like totally underpays people and they're obviously evil capitalist monsters.
But if they did it the other way, Aaron, and everyone kept ordering black leashes and then you ordered a red leash, that person might accidentally grab a black leash. So
no, that's good warehouse management. I was just saying in general that I only root for Amazon when I'm mad at another giant capitalist like terrible company.
I was going to say, yeah, what?
Oh, I had a story to tell.
Oh, really?
This happened like 3 weeks ago. So my wife has been working light duty because she screwed up her ankle. So she's been working nights instead of days. And instead of doing EMS, she's like checking people's temperatures that come to visit the hospital. Mm-hmm. We've been having car problems but you know, like how, like all these problems I've had with her car.
Right.
I was like basically cursed. Like I swear to God, somebody hit a witch with that motherfucker.
You got hexed in Sleepy Hollow.
Like literally last week she called me because like she's on her way to work and it's been raining here like every day and she's like, my wiper stopped working.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, so I drove it back home in the middle of a rainstorm with no wipers.
Oh my God.
Sorry, one was still working, so I was literally like leaning over to the passenger seat like fucking Ace Ventura style, like so I could see through. Every time a semi goes past, I'm like, well, I hope I have a will.
Yeah, she's just gonna bite it and just gas.
Yeah, I fixed that, and then my fix for that, like a different piece of it broke, so then I had to replace the entire whole motor and linkage assembly for the wiper system.
Oh wow. So you're doing that all yourself, of course.
Yeah, everything else we've been taking it in for, but like I knew how to fix that, and I'm also tired of paying people to fix that motherfucker.
I don't blame you.
Anyway, the story was a couple weeks ago her car was in the shop for something, so I was driving her to work, and then I'd bring her all the way back home because we only had one car, and in order to pick Charlie up from daycare, the timing like for like 3 days I was spending like 5 hours in the car there and back plus other stuff. We go and I pick her up and she gets off work at like 11. She's hungry and we're like driving home. And so we live in Connecticut, which is north of the city. And we're like, oh, let's go to McDonald's. We just look one up. Oh, there's one right on like 145th in the Bronx, like deep fucking Bronx.
Yeah.
Like where the trains don't go, Bronx.
Yeah, that's deep.
We go through McDonald's. I just get some chicken nuggets and a milkshake because I'm not super hungry, but you know, you can't eat alone. I'm going to eat with you. You know, I'm a good husband. I ain't going to cheat on you and I'm never going to make you eat dinner by yourself.
That's right.
We're driving home and I'm drinking this milkshake and I'm like, this tastes funny. There's a taste to it and I think I know what it is, but I'm not wrong. And I handed my wife, I'm like, take a drink of that. And she's like, it tastes fine. I'm like, no, take a real drink of it. Cause she took just like a little baby sip.
Yeah.
And she's like, is there booze? I'm like, yeah, there's fucking whiskey in it.
No.
Yeah. It was a fucking spiked chocolate milkshake.
That's amazing. Did you order it like that?
No, because I don't drink. And I was also driving.
Did you do anything weird? Did you say, can I get the fancy style number 2?
No, I said, hey, or they're like, what can we get you? I'm like, can we get like one McChicken, one 10-piece chicken nugget, and a chocolate milkshake and a Coke?
Oh, I see what you did there. You ordered the Coke after the chocolate milkshake. You can't do that.
Was that like I don't know if there's like a secret, but like,
well, there's a
here's the
PEMDAS.
thing.
There is a PEMDAS to like fast food, and if you don't order it the right way, then sometimes you get a spike.
I fucked up the order of operations.
Yeah, you messed up the order of operations, man. It's pretty obvious.
So if at the very end I would have asked for no ketchup on the milkshake, they would have put like some like child in my car.
Yeah, literally that could happen, and now that's your fault, dude. You're liable for that baby.
But like, because I don't drink. Like, I hate the taste of alcohol. I've been drunk once when I was 19.
Okay.
Like, it's not because I'm a prude. I have a lot of like control issues. I don't like not being in control, and I literally am a child. I think booze tastes icky.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
I'll be honest though, you put some fucking Jack Daniels in a chocolate milkshake from McDonald's, it actually tastes pretty fucking good.
Oh, dude, I bet you it's a match made in heaven. I
was mad because I was driving. I couldn't finish it. Because like my tolerance is nothing. Like the most I've had to drink in the last year was like a Sam Adams at a steakhouse and then a Mike's Hard Lemonade when I wanted to fucking hang out at a barbecue.
Yeah, right. I wonder what else they're doing out of that McDonald's.
Right? Like I didn't call and like it was like, are you gonna call and say something? I'm like, no.
No. And what's that gonna do? You're just gonna ruin everybody's fun.
Right? I'm either gonna get someone fired or like you know, like it could be worse. They didn't put like fucking like acid in it. Like I'm not, you know, all of a sudden listening to the fucking Cranberries and having an experience. I just couldn't finish my milkshake because I have the tolerance of a 12-year-old Irish girl.
That's awesome. That's like, oh man, I wonder what happened though if it was just a random experience. So if there's like I wonder there's got to be like things actually happening like that in places,
right? Or did someone just like spike the whole fucking machine?
Yeah, spike the whole machine. Or like I could see places like that. Like if you had like friends working at McDonald's, like you'd be like, hey, you know, if you come in and you order with this code, we'll give you like a boozed one. And you probably just got mixed up.
Right. I pulled up to the window like, who's this fucking white bearded?
Yeah.
Nobody. This fucking Iowa marshmallow.
They thought you were in Skull and Bones.
Yeah. By the way, I need to clarify. I keep mentioning like white and stuff like that. That has nothing, like, it's literally because like there's things besides white people in New York. Like when I go back to Iowa, I go entire days without seeing anybody like darker than like a beach vacation.
I don't know. I am glad you're clarifying that, but I don't think anybody thinks anything.
Right. I just like I point out when I'm white because like partially because like no one ever points out like whiteness. They only point out when someone's Cuban or African American or Chinese. But it's a cultural thing. Like it's deep Bronx. Like it's a very Hispanic and black neighborhood. Like they did not expect to see white boy from Iowa pull up in his fucking Honda Civic.
Yeah. Like that was probably shocking.
Yeah. Like hand me the straw and go, oh, they think's there.
Whoop. Hold on one second here, A. I was about to have some of this pop, A, and it tastes a little slicky wicky, a little slicky ricky.
You hit so close to home with pop. I actively decided when I was like 22 when I moved to Madison to not say pop, to say soda.
Why do you guys call it pop?
Because they're fucking trash, John. I'm sorry, everyone from the Midwest, but I hate it. Like it's one of those things of like once I notice that people in the Midwest say pop.
Oh, it's so annoying.
It's not pop. It's pop.
Pop.
Yeah, it's like PAHP. Pop.
Yeah, like a pop smear.
Yeah. And I like once I noticed it, it bothered me. So I've been saying soda for so long. When I go back and someone's like, "Yeah, let me get like a cheeseburger, a fry, and like a pop."
Oh, it's so weird.
It's because I also I grew up very poor, so I have a lot of like poor shaming in me.
Okay.
Like I don't hate anyone who is poor, but like when I see like my white trash like heritage in front of me, there's part of me that like rejects it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I see someone who obviously didn't try today wearing nothing but like a sweatsuit to like Walmart.
Yeah.
There's part of me that's like, put on shoes with laces. God damn it. You fucking have some pride.
Make yourself at least presentable. Walmart presentable.
Right? Like be more than the sum of your parts. Let's try a little bit here.
Yeah. No. Your story about Walmart, just like it made me think of when we were like in high school. We used to use Walmart because there was nothing to do in our town. Like before, like we started our band and like started like actually making that our thing. So when we were like still like just like, you know, hanging out, we would play games in Walmart. So we would play Manhunt in Walmart. It got to a point where like there was a dedicated security team that was like put in place to find us. And then another game we would play, which is we called it Creatures of Walmart. But it would just be like 1 a.m. and we would just go to Walmart and just walk around. And then we always have to have a buddy system because you could never do it alone. But it was just like, hey, you want to go watch Creatures? I'm like, yeah, okay, man. You just get in the car and we drive to Walmart and just get a shopping cart, and then we just walk around for like an hour and a half. And you just see who's shopping that late at night.
I bet you saw a lot of dads wearing fucking like sandals and a jacket they quickly threw on because they ran out of baby wipes at like 2 a.m.
Well, yeah, you get like normal people, but then you get like people you almost feel bad for because like they know like something's off with them and like they want to shop at the weird hour so they don't run into people. Do you know what I mean? And then there we are, just looking away.
You also have the people that obviously shop at that time so you don't recognize them from their wanted poster.
Yeah, exactly. Like fugitives.
Because they bombed a church in like 73.
Yeah, they've been on the lam since.
And you say Robert, and they're like, no, my name's no.
Robert, haven't heard that name in years. Who the fuck are you?
You start heading to the gardening section to buy a shovel.
Ugh.
Now I'm going to Arizona, you fuck.
Going to Sedona.
Robert's
Arizona.
Dead. I don't know why, but Arizona is where, like, in my mind, the only thing in Arizona is like retirees who couldn't afford Florida and like witness protection.
Well, yeah, they love that. They love that. I have like a whole bunch of theories on all of that.
I got time.
I think isn't Arizona like a tax-free state?
I think so. Like, cause I know Florida, there's no like state tax.
Yeah. So I got a theory with that one too. So
that's why your schools in Florida are in fucking like mobile homes.
Yes. So I would assume that if you're in the mob, that's most witness protection. You're going to have a lot of felonies, which you can have a lot of fines. So you're going to want to go to a tax-free state so you can try to pay some of that back. And then, Arizona is it because you can't go to Vegas. Vegas, the mob owns. So
right, you can't go to Florida because like people vacation there, and
well, that's the mob owns it too.
You don't want to be like just mowing your yard and someone on vacation like took a wrong turn on the way to Disney, and they're like, "Is that fucking two-time and Ricky the Rat?"
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's your winner by default because it's either that or Texas. You're not going to Texas.
My pops told me 2 things when he died. 2 things: you never betray family, and you ever see Ricky the Rat, you kill him dead.
You kill him dead. You see Ricky the Rat, you put 2 in his head.
You put 2 in his head, you put 3 in his dog.
And then also, too, the other thing we're not taking into account, there's no lawns. You just get rock lawns, dude. Less mowing.
Right? Never going to catch me blowing leaves.
Yeah. Who's sick of all that lawn care? Everybody. That's why they go there.
Dude, you are so not like a dad because like I would kill to just like have nothing to do today but mow a yard.
Yeah, well, you're into that. You like you probably also would learn like what type of grass you have and start to treat it the proper way. People would be walking by and you'd be out there like watering it and they'd be like, they wouldn't even ask. And you'd just be like, yep, you got to come out at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. That's when the sun's in the best horizon to get it into the nutrients.
So you got to do it when the sun's not bouncing off the oak tree, because if it comes off that oak tree, it's not going to catch the whole yard. And I don't want no dead spots.
Yeah, and making bonsai out of your hedges and everything.
Right. Well, let's be honest. What I would do is I would learn how to do all of that, do it for 2 weeks, and then never do it again.
Never do it again.
That's really my personality type. Is I'm the guy who learns 80% of something, does it once, and then moves on.
Yeah, well, that's the ADHD. You can't actually learn the skill.
I am like a sub expert, like a level below expert in many things that I've never actually done myself. Like I could name every tool in like a metal or woodworking shop, but I haven't built anything ever.
Never. I wouldn't be able to. Like I'm so bad at that type of stuff. Before Uber started to show you what the car was, I had no idea. Literally would have to Google it. I'd be like, what is a Subaru? Is that like a big one or is that like a Corvette? Like, what is that?
So since I know New York, the only cars are like Honda Civics, black Toyota Camrys, and Tahoes.
Yes, I know a Tahoe. I could spot a Tahoe from an avenue away. Yeah, all cabs.
Yeah, all Ubers are like all like black, like high level Toyota Corollas because it's like the cheapest car you can get and also do Uber X.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's to the point now when I see a black like Toyota Corolla anywhere, I assume it's an Uber and I'm annoyed at them for being in my way.
Do you have you ever had like a weird Uber story or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had a guy once back when we were doing the show when we both lived in the Heights. I took an Uber to you one day because I was running late. I almost canceled it because when the car came up, it said like your driver will be driving this, and it was like a fucking 90s like Ford Aerostar van. Dude shows up. It's this rusted out fucking 90s. I didn't even know they let Ubers do that in New York.
Yeah.
Like he got grandfathered in. Like he's been doing Uber since like it first came to like the States or something. Anyway, this dude shows up. By the way, inside his car, immaculately clean.
Oh, wow.
Dude shows up. He's wearing full fucking military fatigues. No patches like he was in the military. Like total fucking like military surplus camouflage fatigues.
So he's wearing like an outfit, like a costume.
Yeah, like he's totally playing dress up. His car is spotless. The radio is off. I get in and he's polite. And I'm like... I'm not a guy who normally talks to the Uber driver because, like, what am I going to ask you? Oh, how long you been doing Uber? Like, they haven't told everyone today.
Oh, I know, right?
But I'm like, I just started talking to him, and he's like, I can't remember how it came up because it was so long ago. But like, I said one thing, and like, I said like the fucking key phrase, and he's like, well, yeah, that's because that's where they're hiding the aliens. And I'm like, right? Like, everything he said, I fucking agreed with wholeheartedly.
Yeah, at that point, you want to do yes and.
Oh yeah,
yes and.
Yeah, you fucking.
Turn that into an improv game.
Just like absolutely, like totally. And then like, I'm just going to let this dude talk even crazier and crazier shit. And I was like, Area 51. He's like, that's such bullshit. Everyone knows that's all a fucking ruse. It's all in Minnesota.
Oh, wow. That's so
I was like,
awesome.
Really? I didn't know that. I was
gem.
like, yeah, dude, Duluth, Minnesota.
Duluth.
And when I get out, I'm like, dude, 5 stars, best ride I've ever had in an Uber. He goes, he like stops and he goes, thank you so much. It is so nice to meet young people of today.
So we well, like 3 years ago, I was in St. Augustine, and it was around October, and me and my brother and my sister and all of our friends, we went to a ghost walking tour in St. Augustine, and dude. It was amazing. The guy we got, like, we were all in there and we're waiting in like the store for the guy to show up, and he shows up and he's like dressed like a 1950s greaser, but like he's not like dressed like a 1950s greaser. Like that's how he dresses, and he's wearing like a bomber jacket. It's got all these weird like military patches on it, and he had a weird name. I think his name was like Boomer or Skip, something like
Soda Pop or Pony Boy.
Yeah, and. My brother decides to take the tour the most serious like college lecture he's ever had. And literally at every stop, he's asking like extremely thoughtful and like articulate questions. And the guy's just floored. He's like, you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it one round of applause, please. I have never had somebody ask me, woo! Woo! I cannot wait. Woo! He's just like, and then I'm paying attention to the tour, and I ended up finding out we were just going to his drinking spots. Like literally, like they were just like kind of like different bars. And then we ended, and he's like, this final place, they've got great on taps, and he just starts naming like all their beers on tap and everything. I was like, this guy literally just took us on a bar crawl for all the places he hangs out at.
It literally ends with like, and good luck, Larry's working tonight, so you can get half off mimosas.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But oh man, my brother was tickling his brain that night. It was so funny.
Dude, why? It's not my job to like decide someone's reality.
Right?
Like, fuck it. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to change his fucking mind?
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm starting to realize, like, the more, like, open you are, even to people that are like, what the fuck? Like, instead of getting annoyed with it, just be open with it. Because exactly what you said. You're not going to change it.
Right? Like, as long as they're not saying anything, like, bigoted, like...
Right.
Like, if they're like, they're not even real people, I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes. But
yeah,
if they're
or
like,
not violating somebody, of course.
Like, if they're like, yeah, dude, no, my sister saw a ghost, and I swear to fucking gosh, she's never been the same. I'm like,
oh,
really?
Dude, I open right up. I
am the most interested person in the world because, like, you know what? I've heard about everybody's fucking day job and like, oh, you moved to the city from Colorado. That's fine. Like, I've been to parties like that where like everyone tells like the same boring ass story.
Yeah, it's so boring.
Like, I want the guy with a story to tell.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's true.
Especially too, like if it's like, and I feel bad for the people that are out on the streets with like severe mental illness. But if you meet another like kind of put together person and they want to just like tell you about the time they got abducted in New Mexico back in 1963, like, damn, yeah, dude, I want to hear everything about that.
It beats the hell out of some kid breakdancing almost kicking me 3 times.
100%.
Like every time, right? Like Yeah, like I will stop and talk to anybody who like, yeah, I've noticed this like sad thing. I realized when I first moved to the city of like, you see the people that no one has spoken to in so long that they've devolved.
Yeah.
Like emotionally, like it really fucks. Like they're in like solitary confinement except in the public.
Yeah, they look like they like are only in black and white, like everything.
Like there's also those people. You ever see like one of those old people, like an old lady on the Upper East Side who's like walks at a 90-degree angle because she's so fucking old.
Yeah, her back is like just crooked. I saw a lady like that a day ago. Literally, it was a day ago. I was walking behind her, and I was just like, "What is up with this lady's like entire life? She's so old, walking alone."
It's like the weight of your white privilege. This like just literally crushed you. Because I know you still live in the same fucking building you grew up in, and like you own it.
Oh yeah. Your rent is $425 a month,
right? Plus one TV guide.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you had to know what, like, I know this is going to sound like a fucking Facebook meme, but do you remember when you used to have to wait for the channel, like, that told you what was on the other channels to scroll back around?
Yeah, channel 24, or at least that's what it was in my town. Oh, yeah.
But, like, and if you miss it, you had to wait through everything to find out what's on Nickelodeon.
It was so bad. And it would play the commercials on the top.
Right, like the top third was like, this is a Flowbee. You can cut your hair with a vacuum.
Yeah, that's like when they finally were able to get the TV guide, like where you could just pull it up on the TV whenever you wanted. That was like so groundbreaking.
So did you have cable your entire life, or was there a time where you didn't have cable?
Yeah, no, there was definitely, when I was growing up, I don't think we had cable for a while. Maybe not till I moved to Florida. I think maybe I just had basic TV up in New York with the antennas.
Yeah, you have like ABC, NBC, CBS, and maybe Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, and PBS.
PBS too. Yeah, absolutely PBS. Because I would watch like Power Rangers and then New Kids on the Block, the cartoon. These were all like on, basic TV.
Dude, did you ever watch the Red Green Show on PBS?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Okay, so like PBS was like the one channel that came in well in like my little tiny TV in my room. Like CBS because I was the closest one, and then PBS because for some reason they have like the best antennas. The Red Green Show would come on because I used to do anything comedy when I was growing up. Like I'd watch Conan. I'd even watch Leno because it was close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough. Yeah, he's trying.
Yeah, fuck him.
He means well.
Get burned, you fucking billionaire.
Yeah.
But Red Green is a Canadian redneck sketch show.
Really?
Like it's all about like duct tape, and like there'd be like little sketches where he's like, we're gonna fucking cut my van in half and tape it to a fucking pickup truck because I don't have a pickup truck. And they'd have like these little like the whole premises took place at like a men's lodge, like the Possum Lodge, and like they'd have like little slogans like, if it ain't broke, you're not trying.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm a big fan of.
Is it like black and white?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Canadian sketch comedy. My favorite sketch group of all time is Kids in the Hall. So like yeah,
like good comedy. Like Red Green's not bad, but it's basically just Foxworthy but Canadian.
Yeah, no, but that's still cool. I would like the Canadian twist on it because even like Kids in the Hall, some of their stuff every once in a while, you're like, oh, that's really Canadian, eh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you gotta go see Gord over here. Gord, he's got a hell of a story to tell you. He saw a reindeer, two of them fighting a moose.
Fighting a moose, logger. Oh no, I'm gonna have to tell Eleanor about that.
Hey Eleanor, hey, come over here. You see this moose? I love doing. I don't know why Canadians like. You know why? Because like you can do a Canadian voice, and like who are you going to offend? A Canadian?
Yeah, it's like, what are they going to do?
Right?
Just,
like cover me in syrup, like
tweet.
Oh, I'm going to get right on that tweet box. Hey, come here and tell this hoser what's what.
Well, no, eh?
I realize you and I each have two voices. We can only do like Irish, mob, and Canadian. So if we had our own sketch show, we'd have to get real specific with the scenarios.
That's it. We would really dig into those, though. It would be like
our pitch meetings would be like, what if Ricky the Rat had to hide in Canada and he met Gord? It'd go a little something.
When you were in high school, did you ever go through like any like weird phases with outfits? Like, what's the weirdest outfit? Is there like a specific outfit, like one specific outfit looking back, you're like, oh my God.
Like high school?
Not even high school. Just like, was there ever like a time where you just like were dressing like, and you're like looking back and you're like, oh my God, what was I doing?
No, I was poor. I just wore whatever I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd get clothes at the beginning of the school year, and if they didn't fit by the end, that was my problem. Like trying to think. Like, I didn't really have any like intentional fashion or clothing choices until high school, and then it was just like ripped jeans, steel toe boots, and a army jacket where I with a Sharpie drew a giant anarchy symbol on the back.
That's cool.
Imagine like someone whose role in a movie was like punk number 2. That's how I dressed for 3 years.
Did you ever wear like a choker chain or like mascara, anything like that?
No, never mascara. I wore this was more after my punk phase, but for a long time I used to wear a necklace that I made that was 2 50-cent pieces, one from the year I was born and one from the year my wife was born.
Oh, okay.
I wore that for a long time. I always like flex fit hats. I always wore them forward.
What's a flex fit hat?
Like, you know, the hat that doesn't have any adjustments, like the Mike, not Mike, what's his name? Fred Durst.
Oh yeah. That legend.
Yeah. I would never wear it backwards though, always forwards. What was yours? Because I know you asked me because you did something dumb.
Well, no, like I was thinking today, and like one of like something popped in my head, and I was just like mortified, and like looking back on it. So like this was like I had to be in high school, and like for whatever reason I was buying a lot of like American Eagle, and they had like these like studded cowboy button ups. And so when I say studded, I don't mean like studs or anything. I just mean like they had like pearl buttons on it. Like that's the way to describe it. Yeah. And
where I come from, that's called church clothes.
Church clothes. And so like it was a long sleeve, and I would roll up the sleeves, and it had like these pearl buttons. And then I would wear like just basic, like I don't think I wore girl pants, but I wore like kind of like tight fitting guy pants. And I had like highlights in my hair, blonde highlights with like red highlights. And I used to straighten my hair, and then I would put like matte paste in it and get like a faux hawk.
Yeah.
And I just remember I also was working at a hardware store. So I would wear like an Ace Hardware red shirt over this. So I would have like the collar popping out, the buttons, and the hair. And
did you get the highlights where they had to like pull it through the fucking cap?
Yeah.
I did that once.
Yeah. They would put it in foil too. I don't know if you had to do the cap all the time, but
oh man, I've never straightened my hair.
Yeah, I just like, but like when you straighten it, like you can get like super volume on it. And so
the trick is you just use Elmer's glue, and you don't have to, and don't wash your hair. You just have a mohawk for a week.
Yeah. But then I would have to believe in anarchy. Like I wasn't there yet.
Oh yeah, no, I was already past the point of thinking I'd ever have a real job.
But like I'm just like thinking back, like working in a hardware store, like how much of an idiot I had to look at 17.
Oh yeah, I do remember I don't think there's any evidence on the internet because I went out of my way to remember my MySpace password.
Oh really?
But there was a time where I wore a fedora for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, in like 2000.
That's what I was looking for. That qualifies.
How old was I when I wore a fedora? Was I in high school still, like 17?
That qualifies, definitely.
Yeah. She's thinking.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely before I started comedy.
That's the best joke right there.
She says she thinks it was after. Thank you, love. She says she thinks it was after high school, which I will dispute for my own like image.
What were you thinking with the fedora?
Oh, I just thought they were cool, man.
That's
I thought I was a cool hep cat.
Okay. I can't.
You ever heard of Jason Mraz?
Jason Mraz.
Oh, my wife said I didn't have a beard yet in high school, so I didn't wear a fedora.
Okay. She knows best.
I will go back through I'll go back through our photos and find out, because I know exactly the weekend that there are pictures taken that still exist on my phone.
Next week I want to know.
You should come over here, because you're not being picked up on the microphone. I have to keep repeating you. Well, either come over here or you gotta stop talking, because I'm not gonna edit this much. Those are your choices. She stands by that I didn't have a beard yet. I didn't have a beard in my fedora pictures either, though. Okay, she claims it wasn't high school. I disagree. I will look at my photos later. I have to edit that because there's going to be a lot of silence of her talking to me from the couch. My wife says she won't come on the show without an appearance fee, and we can't afford her yet.
Oh, no. One of these days we're going to be able to bring her on.
Yeah, because I have to go to her people have to talk to my people, and, it's just a mess.
It's a lot. There's a lot of emotions involved. It's troublesome.
So you feel good? We didn't talk about anything, but we talked a lot.
No, yeah. I feel really good. I had one more thing that was...
Yeah, hit me.
It was actually pop punk related here.
Gross.
I know. One of our favorite bands of all time just came out with a new album, Underoath.
Oh, they're still a thing?
Yeah, it's a live album. And Aaron, I was listening to it before the show. I have no idea what album the songs are from. Like I can't figure it out.
You can't tell if it's from their early period where they screamed or their later period when they still screamed.
I can't tell, Aaron. I have no idea. I'm like listening to them. They all sound vaguely familiar. Like I've heard them before, I think. I have no idea. And then like they just like there's a whole bunch of other things going on. Like I just still don't get. The singer is the drummer. Both of these are the two most physically taxing things to do in a band.
Right? Like,
why does one guy have to do both?
Well, also, like, there's a reason, like, in Broadway where, like, the guy singing usually does the least dancing because you need breath support to sing.
Yeah, that's why the genie is, like, so amazing, is because he can, like, just keep running and he doesn't run out of breath.
Have you ever seen me without a beard?
No, I don't think I have.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm trying to go through my photos to figure out when this was because, like, I vehemently disagree that it was post high school. Yeah, I look terrible without a beard. All right, I'll have to look it up later. You ever stop and realize how many fucking pictures you have on your phone?
I was actually like weirdly thinking about that today. I took another accidental screenshot and then I went in to go delete it. I was like, there is like 3,000 photos of just like the time I took 18 photos of that park bench trying to get the right angle, and I just never deleted them.
Oh, now that I have a kid, there's like, if you just scroll through my photos, you can tell when Charlie had my phone because there's like 500 photos of just black.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
I don't have the time to go through it, but yeah, like most of the pictures I have, like there's more pictures of my kid, like, and she's only 2 than there are in my entire life. So I don't know if you can see this on.
Oh yeah,
first time. That's beardless me with a fedora from 2006, which was in high school.
You look so young there. You look like you got to be 20.
No. I was 17.
You're even younger. That's amazing.
Oh, this is a picture from me taking Janet to prom.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Beardless Aaron.
Yeah, I used to be okay looking except for the acne.
You look good.
You know? That's what the beard's for.
Absolutely. That's why I have one too.
Yeah. No, you can't have whiteheads underneath all the scruff. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you about Underoath. I was like, please don't let me be in my 20s and still wearing a fedora.
No, that was it. I didn't really have anything else with them. Just they came out with a new album and I was listening to it. And yeah, it's a lot. It's live. They're screaming. It's all of them again. They open it up with like a chant for Christ at the beginning. What's
your favorite Bible verse? You got one? I got one.
What's my favorite Bible verse? I don't even know one, Aaron.
What if you just busted out like one of the 2 places in the entire Bible that's like anti-gay, and you're like, that's my favorite. No reason why.
I was gonna say Austin 3:16, but I don't even know what that one is.
Austin 3:16. That's the wrestler. That's not the Bible. And that's when Jesus gave a stunner to the devil right in the desert.
And that's the bottom line because Jesus said so.
And then it says that like John and Mark came over and like cracked open like Miller High Lifes over some dude's face. And that's the end of the book.
They were thrown brewskis until they threw up.
Yeah. And apparently Paul got so drunk he puked on his monster truck. I don't know. It's a weird book.
He's my favorite, man. Stone Cold? No, Stone Cold. Oh, yeah. You ever listen to his podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. He's such a curious cat.
Oh, he is. But like, it's hard to take him seriously because like, he's not doing a voice when he's playing like wrestler him. Like, that's how he sounds.
Yeah. He just like he was like, I guess, trying to do all these characters and he wasn't going anywhere. And then he's just like, you know what? Let me just be me.
He also like, he's one of the few people that can say, I'm going to open a can of whoop ass, and it's intimidating.
Oh, yeah. Or do you think he's like one of those guys that became his character? Like Andrew Dice Clay or like Sam Kinison?
Right.
Like it just ate him up.
Oh, God. Andrew Dice Clay. God, he's so bad.
Dickory, duck.
If you don't know who Dice Clay is, he was a terrible comic from the 80s. Don't Google him. It's not worth it. Like even then he was a gimmick, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was a gimmick for himself. And then he just was like, okay, this is working.
Because like the 80s comedy boom, like there's been different comedy booms. There was like the early 2000s one, which was more like alt comedy or like people like Kumail and Pete Holmes and like TJ.
Yeah.
But like the 80s comedy boom was like, it was all about like fucking wearing a fucking sports coat and trying to get on Carson. So it was all like real like lowest common denominator comedy.
Yeah, it was all safe for what could you sell advertisements to?
Right? Then you had to have like a really clear persona so you could get your sitcom.
Yeah, that's it. You had to have a whole like point of view with a persona, and then you could have a whole sitcom for you.
I remember this today because I was on Twitter, and my friend Patrick Hasty, who actually hosts a podcast called The Nostalgic Front.
Oh,
where
cool.
they just talk about old 90s shit. Good
That's
dude.
awesome.
He's a comic. I met him at the Creek in the Cave, which is closing, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
I heard. I'm so upset.
But he posted this on Twitter and reminded me, Tim Allen went to jail or went to prison for like being caught with over 1.5 pounds of cocaine in the 70s.
Yeah, he was a cocaine dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Seth Rogen was making fun of him today on Twitter because Tim Allen was posting something like Marxism, anti-fascist, like something weird. He put like 3 things. And
yeah, he's like a weird Republican dude now.
Yeah, and then Seth Rogen replied, and he's like, things you hate more than selling cocaine? With a question mark? Because it didn't make any sense.
I didn't know if people knew that. By the way, do you ever stop and think about the Santa Claus movies he's in? Like the first one? Like Santa Claus dies 10 minutes in.
Oh, yeah. They kill like the real Santa Claus.
Yeah, he falls off his fucking house and then he becomes Santa Claus, which is a weird, like a weird plot line.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. But you got to get it going somehow. And how else do you explain it to a kid? You have to
becoming Santa Claus is how he gets his kid back after the divorce, or like gets back into his kid's life.
How many so let's say you're not thinking this through. You show your kid that movie, The Santa Claus. Then you show them Home Alone. Then that night you dress as Santa Claus to go leave the presents, and your kid tries to murder you with an elaborate trap so he could become you.
Oh, I thought it was so he could make his dad become Santa Claus. I didn't think my kid would jump right to one in the shoes himself.
Yeah, no, that's it. The kid's gonna go right for it. Because the kid's gonna make a trap to kill you. It's taking your step.
Oh shit! Because I thought he'd want to like replicate the Santa Claus movie where his dad becomes Santa Claus, but he wants to become Santa Claus himself. You know what? I'd be proud. I don't care what my kid does as long as they're happy, healthy, and they try to be the best at whatever they do.
Right before the paint pail hits you in the head and knocks you into oblivion.
Right. As soon as I grab that door handle that's glowing red, I didn't notice.
Touche.
You and I disagree. You think Kevin's the bad guy of that movie, where I contend that those burglars would have killed him given the chance.
I don't know what they would have done to him, but I don't like what he did to them. That Kevin is bad news, man.
Hey, man, just because you're defending your property don't mean you can't enjoy it.
Yeah, that Kevin's a Republican.
Right. Home Alone is really a movie about the stand your ground law.
It really is. It was made by lobbyists for the stand your ground law.
Have you seen Home Alone 4, The Castle Doctrine?
Well, who's the guy that made Home Alone? Chris Columbus?
John Hughes.
John Hughes. We find out John Hughes has all these like political messages in all of his movies.
The Breakfast Club is actually about...
It's actually saying a lot about society if you really look at it.
Well, actually, if you really pay attention to 16 Candles, it's actually parodies Anne Ryan's Atlas Shrugged.
Atlas Lost.
The boy's trying to lose, what's his name? Oh, fuck. I'm so mad I can't remember his name. He was on SNL. He played the little blonde boy in all those movies, a super geeky kid. Michael Hall.
Michael Seton Hall?
Janet. What's the name of the dude from Dead Zone? Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. I'm thinking Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall. Michael Cera. Michael Jackson. I'm just on a Michael kick now. Oh, man. No, we disagree about Home Alone, though. Like, I totally think the Sticky Bandits, given the chance, would have killed Kevin.
Number one, they're the Wet Bandits.
They're the Wet Bandits in the first movie. They're the Sticky Bandits in the second movie.
That's right. That is right. I need to rewatch Home Alone and Home Alone 2.
Oh, what have you been doing during quarantine?
Yeah, I know. I didn't do quarantine right at all. I'm shocked that when I watched that movie as a kid, actually, I don't think I was allowed to watch that movie as a kid. I don't have any memories of that movie as a kid because I would have tried to repeat that.
Why? It's about an oversized Catholic family.
Yeah, I know it is. I would have had paint pails on string going down the stairs.
Oh, it's not because they thought it was inappropriate. They just didn't trust you with the knowledge.
Yeah, 100%. They would have been like, this is his anarchist cookbook. He's not allowed to look at this.
I'm so glad you said that. I was just about to drop anarchist cookbook as my reference. It's fucking...
There's no way that little monster can watch this.
Yeah, John tried to Unabomber the mailman.
Well, we did let him watch Home Alone last week, so
Yes, this one's on us.
sorry about that federal offense.
Right. Well, at least we have another kid.
Yeah. He's going to become a lawyer.
Right. That's actually why you have more than one kid, just in case.
That's right. Insurance policy.
So you don't have any kids. You're lucky. Like, you're never going to be on the news trying to be like, well, I still love him even though he killed 25 people.
Yeah, no, I won't have to have that problem. I'm just going to have the problem of when I die, nobody cares.
Oh, that's not true. I'll have to figure out who to give your guitars back to.
Yeah, that's right.
And on that note, you feel good?
I feel pretty good.
All right, my name's Aaron Haag.
I'm John Bryan.
Stay fun.